welcome back to Salisbury and Sweetnam Sports Podcast. We are back slightly later than usual this week due to a couple of me having plans in effect, really. Last minute plans, so we really apologise for that. Welcome aboard, James.
Thank you, Adam. As per usual, we discuss a variety of sports on the show. In the description it says exactly when we're discussing each one, so you can check whenever you like. Anyway, it's an exceptionally important week for British comedy. We're celebrating 10 years of the Inbetweeners.
An absolute gem of a comedy series. It's a real shame that it didn't go on for more series, but ultimately the lesser comedies tend to go on longer.
Damon Beasley and Ian Morris, of course, two absolutely fantastic writers. They've really carved out something that just sums up British lifestyle so well for those teenage years.
Absolutely.
And we'll be dropping in-betweeners quotes throughout the show to celebrate the success of that comedy. Anyway, first of all, I had a very bizarre Friday night. My dad has played in bands, various bands, some, doing big shows with thousands of tickets sold, others quite small with just a few hundred ticket shows in pubs. But the theme usually tends to be that when they play music, middle-aged people love to let themselves go and have a go on the dance floor. Anyway, I was in a pub this weekend and I was letting Adam know throughout the night the activities that were going on the dance floor. So, it started off with three men. One looked sort of like a caveman, sort of like a black-haired edge, hair all down his face, all down his back, absolutely loads of hair. Then another sort of caveman-looking man. A man that you sort of assume was a painter and decorator in his mid to late 50s. Then another man who was a ventriloquist with a monkey on his hand. Okay, firstly, the painter and decorator spotting a woman. You know those women who are sort of in the late 30s and really are desperate to gain back the youth that they once had. So there's one of these, there's a woman who's really giving it a go on the dance floor, and this sort of painter was really trying to get into it, really giving it a go, but he was being somewhat unsuccessful. He was whipping out every tool in his arsenal to try and pull this woman, but he was having a bit of a tough time, but eventually she started to give him a bit of leeway and got him into the conversation. The other caveman at this point was sort of twerking on the dance floor. Then a sort of big woman on the dance floor, sort of 30 years old, 20 years younger than the ventriloquist, but obviously she saw some sort of entertaining side to the monkey, and those two started dancing with each other. She, of course, had a few stone on him. She was a big woman. And then she started trying to strip the man on the dance floor. So monkey's gone and the jumper's nearly gone as she's trying to declothe him. Then they started sort of slow dancing, quite romantically, quite nice. It was nice to see some people in the sort of older years really enjoying a slow dance, but unfortunately it wasn't to a slow song. Anyway, the caveman was absolutely jealous and started cock-blocking the ventriloquist. He was twerking all over the both of them and just sort of started trying to hug them. So the caveman was getting quite emotional. The painter was wearing Crocs on the dance floor, which I think is a reason why the blonde woman wasn't overly interested to him. It then turned out that it was the ventriloquist's birthday, so the whole of the pub that we're in stood up and sung happy birthday to the monkey man.
Racist.
He was a white man. Anyway, so the large woman who was sort of...
Can I just stop you there for a second? There's no need to call this woman large.
Well, I'm trying to paint the picture.
She's just a female.
Who's very, very big.
But there's no need for that.
Yeah, but you need to paint a picture.
There's just no need for it. You could have said she was a BBW. Or
so that's still a very big woman.
Or a big boned. Not a very large woman who has a couple of stone and everyone else.
Honestly,
you're a disgrace.
I think calling her a big bone woman would be a shed patronising. I just thought I'd just referred to her as what she was. Anyway, she decided to give him a little bit of a birthday treat, and they started like sort of colliding genitals. They were sort of bashing them together on the dance floor.
And that is classic intercourse.
It was outside the trousers, but yeah. Anyway, he whipped the monkey back out, so he's obviously monkey being his puppet and not his little weapon downstairs.
Sheesh.
Anyway, so yeah, the twerking caveman then got hold of the monkey man and had him in a headlock, which sort of ended his chances of pulling that evening. So he didn't get the birthday sex, I suppose, he would have desired, which was slightly unfair, because you can't really defend a headlock when you can only use one arm. The other arm, of course, being up a monkey.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And I suppose the moral to that story is if you're ever out with James, he will evaluate your every move.
Every single one. But I've not even finished the story yet.
Oh.
So anyway, Suspicious Minds is playing in the background, and then a bit of twist and shout.
Was the monkey caught in a trap?
He couldn't look back. Anyway, the ventriloquist then lifted his arms in rejoice as he was suddenly sandwiched by two middle-aged women who were both wearing glasses and were sort of down to party. Anyway, then a decent-looking woman got on the floor, quite tall, and she was sort of preventing the advances of an Austin Powers lookalike who was really giving it a go. Meanwhile, there was a man in an electric wheelchair spinning around the dance floor in 360 motions, and there was a woman dancing very seductively towards him, and I was thinking there was going to be a bit more romance on the dance floor tonight, but that wasn't to be. Anyway, then a sort of big middle-aged man with a calf tattoo, you know the type. You know, shorts, t-shirt, Reeboks, that sort of thing.
Boozed up Brit abroad.
Absolutely, was probably heading off to Marbella shortly after the night. Anyway, he pushed the twerking caveman into our table, and he sort of like nearly knocked our drinks over. He didn't. Twerking caveman didn't have to pay any drinks bills. Anyway, he then came over to us and told us he always thought the song Route 66 was Route 67.
Right.
And then began to dance on the dance floor on his own after the gig had finished, whilst playing air guitar.
And is that it?
He was dancing to I Fought the Law, and the law won.
Right. So, if you've got through that story...
It's not over yet!
Oh, what? We're going on for days!
Twerking caveman then started talking to my mother.
Oh.
So I was thinking, twerking caveman, don't twerk anywhere near my mother.
Yeah.
So obviously I had to sort of...
Get your arse away from James'
Yeah.
mum.
And I went over and apparently he was quite nice and just talking about Led Zeppelin.
Great band.
Fantastic. And now we can move on to sport.
Jesus Christ, I think James needs a breath.
Anyway, massive one this weekend. It was the rematch between Tony Bellew and David-Haye. A lot of people thought it was a 50-50 fight in the build-up. Could David be what he once was? Some of us were wondering. Maybe he could be, after a speech that was given to us by his manager.
The person who said history always repeats itself was wrong. It doesn't always repeat itself. Two things might repeat themselves. You lot screaming and shouting and Tony Bellew playing games. They may repeat themselves. But you know what won't repeat itself? You know what? This time David's going to win. This time he will, because you know it as well. You know it. You know it and you know it. You know it. You can kid yourselves all you like. Play your little games. All shout at me. Oh, that's good. You're wrong. You're wrong, guys. And Saturday night you'll see.
Sit down, lad, and get back on the Inbetweeners.
Absolutely hilarious speech, wasn't that, by Adam Morley?
Yeah. What a complete clown. It turns out he was wholly incorrect.
Remind me very much of Will Mackenzie, and this is a speech that Will once made at the Black Horse.
4 pints of lager.
ID.
Look!
What?
Just look around you. Everyone in this bloody pub is underage.
What?
Shut up. He's underage. She's underage. He looks a bit older because he's uglier, but he's in the year below even me. Look at that bum fluff. 16. That bra's got padding in it. 16. His mum still buys his trousers. 16. 16. At a push 17. 16. And this one, Mark Donovan. Yeah, he looks old and he's meant to be hard, but he's still only 16. All these people you've served, whatever bloody ID they used, are underage.
Right, we're closed. Everyone out.
Anyway, that was Will Mackenzie's pub speech, the one which probably announced him to audiences across our country. Anyway, Bellew-Haye 2, did it go how you sort of expected it to go?
No, it didn't, actually. I actually really fancied David Haye on this occasion. At the moment, I seem to really sort of back people to do things in sport, potentially past their sporting sell-by date, and they tend to let me down, and this was yet another one. I thought when Haye walked to the ring, I thought, right, he's back.
Did the British trunks have anything to do with that?
Trunks and walk-on song, I was getting extremely aroused, actually.
All right.
In the fleece. It just reminded me of what we all used to really enjoy watching David Haye for. But once he got in the ring, he was a shadow of himself, no racism intended. I
don't think anybody would have picked up on that, but carry on.
It was an absolute annihilation, actually.
Yeah, Tony Bellew was absolutely superb on the night. David looked alright, I thought, for the first round. I thought Bellew nicked it. Haye won the second, and then it was all one-way traffic. The bomber proving us all, well, not us all, because I picked Tony Bellew, but proving a lot of people wrong once again, and winning me £50. Thank you, Adam Salisbury.
I carry power.
Yeah, so Tony Bellew did a magnificent job. I think that's probably the end now for David Haye.
It ought to be. If it's not, then he needs to have a serious word with himself. In fact, I think Cole Frotch went over to his parents and said, look, David has to stop.
Yeah, enough's enough now, David. I think I've warmed to him in the last couple of fights. He showed a lot of courage carrying on in the last one with an injured Achilles, and carrying on in this one where his legs seemed to go again and he was knocked down so many times. And I hope David's remembered for the excellent fighter he was a few years prior. His wins over the likes of Valuev and Ruiz and John Marmot Moment, Enzo Macronelli, etc. He really was one of the greatest fighters we produced, wasn't he?
Absolutely, here. And hopefully the boxing supporters aren't narrow-minded and short-memoried, because David Haye was an absolute class act in his day.
Yeah. Taking nothing away from Tony Bellew, of course, he was excellent. Who would you like to see Tony fight next?
I personally think it's a pretty decent time for the bomber to retire. He's obviously not going to go to cruiserweight with the talent down there. Heavyweight, I don't actually see him defeating White, Joshua, Wilder, Fury, etc. So maybe it's time to call it a day. If he wants one more fight, fair enough, another payday. But will he go out on a loss? Yes, for me.
Right, okay. I think there's actually some legs in the Andre Ward fight. Andre Ward, one of the greatest boxers on the planet, pound for pound one of the best, but there's weight divisions in boxing for a reason. Tony Bellew would be absolutely ginormous compared to Andre Ward, and it will be a legacy-defining fight, as of course he was ranked by the ring as the pound for pound best in the world. Bellew would have size, power, strength. Of course he wouldn't be as naturally talented, but he'd have a lot of advantages.
He would, but ultimately I think the cream would rise to the top and Andre Ward will get the better of him. But, look, I can't say I'd be overly keen for that fight, really. Ward need not step into the ring with Bellew. You don't need to prove anything for me.
Yeah, I think it's too much of a risk for Andre to risk everything in a fight where all the natural advantages are against him. Because eventually, no matter how good you are, if you step up too many weight classes, there'll always be somebody just that little bit too big. Anyway, moving on to the world title fight on the bill. Paul Butler let us all down on Friday when he missed weight.
Complete cock. I don't have too much more to say.
Thank you very much for that, Adam. He was absolutely dismantled by the Puerto Rican Emmanuel Rodriguez. He really tore him apart and he showed his class. Paul has wasted his opportunity of getting into the World Boxing Super Series now. Emmanuel really showed that he's a really classy operator, carries a hell of a lot of power, knocked Paul down twice in the opening round, and he's earned his place in the World Boxing Super Series.
Well done.
Well, one, we apologise for getting it absolutely wrong last week. We both predicted that Jamie Cox would defeat John Ryder. That wasn't to be. Were you surprised by the finish, John stopping him in just 2 rounds?
I was extremely surprised. I think you got a pretty decent price on Cox getting stopped within 2. But ultimately, it was an excellent performance. It comes as a huge surprise. It just proves to me that Groves wasn't on song in the first couple of rounds in that fight, and it just proves that he's quite poor and he's not at world level actually.
No, maybe slightly subpar. But somebody who may be rising to world level, John Ryder's career appeared to be going nowhere, but he's had a bit of an Indian summer with wins over Patrick Nielsen and Jamie Cox. Does John Ryder deserve a shot at one of the world titles?
Well, ultimately, he's beaten a contender, which will put him up the rankings, you imagine. So, yeah, why not?
Now, Leroy Thomas was the Commonwealth champion for all of about 5 minutes on Saturday night. Joe Joyce absolutely walked through him. Absolutely sort of destructive performance from Joe Joyce. Became the quickest Commonwealth champion in heavyweight boxing history. He's really going places, isn't he, Joe Joyce?
He is, absolutely, and it was an absolute walloping that he gave Leroy Thomas. But to be fair to Leroy Thomas, he's getting on a bit. He's been ring inactive, obviously because of the White Rhino saga. He has had a fight in between that, but you know it's one of them. But no, take nothing away from Joe Joyce. He's a real prospect, and I think he could go to the top.
He's looking very good, Joe. He doesn't look pretty to watch, but he's very strong, very fit, very aggressive, and he gets the job done. Anyway, he's been mandated to fight the winner of the British title fight this weekend between Hughie Fury and Sam Sexton. Firstly, what's your opinion on that fight, and then the winner taking on Joe Joyce?
I think it's a good fight for Hughie Fury, who really ought to win the fight and become British champion. But of course, it's a massive risk for Fury, and I wouldn't blame him for not taking it at this stage, because in my opinion, he is at world level at the moment, and ought to be fighting for a world title fight. But he's in the ring for a British title this weekend. Joyce is calling out Miller, so potentially that's one of them. So maybe neither of them want the fight. Who knows?
Hughie, of course, extremely gifted, moves so well. Doesn't carry power necessarily, but Peter's been saying in Count that they've been working very much on power and getting that natural strength up. Of course, we interviewed Peter a couple of weeks back, and we really wish Hughie the best of luck in his upcoming fight. Anyway, super fight this weekend. Boxing porn almost. We have two wizards in a boxing ring. Lomachenko versus Jorge Linares.
Yep, and it's an absolute cracker of a fight. And it's not often, like you said to me actually, a quote that stuck with me. I think we were on a walk or something, and you said to me, James, you said, it's not often that you give Jorge Linares absolutely no chance in a fight, but I think that on this occasion, you can't give Linares much of a chance. He's lost his training in the lead up to David-Haye.
Yeah, ridiculous that. Ismail Salas ought to be ashamed of himself, abandoning Jorge for David-Haye.
Well, absolutely, just before the biggest fight and opportunity of Linares' career. I think it's a disgrace, but he'll be in the ring. He's a class act, but I honestly think that Lomachenko's too good.
Yeah, Linares, dazzling hand speed. We've both seen him at the Manchester Arena, and it was a pleasure. Although we love Anthony Crolla, it was a pleasure to see Jorge do his stuff. But unfortunately, I just feel that Vasyl Lomachenko is just that little bit too special. You never know where he's coming from. He sort of fights like nobody else has ever fought before. Jorge will be in there thinking, this is what I've done all my life. And he'll be seeing something and think, I have never seen this ever before. What is this person? Vasyl did years and years and years of ballerina training. That's really paying off now when you look at his footwork. He just moves like no other fighter does. And I feel that unfortunately for Jorge, we're going to get another Vasyl Lomachenko stoppage win, probably about 9 or 10. I think he'll grind Jorge down. And he'll be the quickest freeweight world champion in boxing history. And I'm going to make a small prediction now. I think we could be looking at the greatest of all time when we look back on his career.
It's most definitely the pound for pound king out there at the moment. And yeah, I wouldn't be quick to argue with that. He's got an absolutely incredible amateur and professional record.
I think it was 360 to 1, something like that.
And apparently even that was a robbery. He's an Olympic gold medalist as well, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a two-time Olympic gold medalist.
Well, he's a complete class act, yeah. Absolutely up there with the best of all time, yeah.
Anyway, over the weekend, Gennady Golovkin made his return. Of course, Canelo wasn't able to fight because he's been eating the Mexican meat. Tainted or not?
Tainted love. Soft sell.
Yeah, thank you very much. Anyway, he took on Varnes Motorosian, got the job done in 2. Relatively simple night's work for Golovkin. Of course, he showed destructive power in the finish, as he usually does. It's been a while since we've seen a Golovkin finish, because he stepped up his opposition with the likes of Jacobs and Canelo. Most importantly, Golovkin won. Who do you want to see him fight next?
Saunders.
Billy Joe. Do you think Billy Joe beats him?
Yeah, I don't see why not. I think GGG has got quite a few sort of flaws in his armour. I think Saunders could certainly, what the hell is the word? Sort of highlight those.
Yeah, expose him.
Yes, expose those.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Golovkin, excellent. I actually agree. I actually also believe that Billy Joe Saunders has the tools to defeat Gennady Golovkin. I sort of feel, though, that timing-wise it probably won't work out with Saunders fighting in June. With regret, I feel probably the most likely outcome is the Canelo rematch Part 2 in September.
Yeah, definitely. I think the same. However, what a fight that Saunders would be. In my opinion, a far much exciting fight down at the Canelo rematch.
Yeah. Canelo, a huge name in boxing, but I feel like the bulk of hardcore fans would love to see Billy Joe get his opportunity at the big time. Anyway, Liam Smith has pulled out of his world title fight at the weekend. Saddam Ali will take on Hamio Munguia instead, and hopefully the winner of that will fight Liam Smith for that WBO title. Anyway, Tyson Fury was on GMB this weekend with Piers Morgan. Did you watch the interview?
I did. I thought he came across absolutely brilliantly.
I agree. I thought Tyson and Piers had a lot of good banter on the show. I thought Tyson's sort of now proving that he's a really good person. I think the bulk of boxing fans know that, but now he's coming across fantastic to the mainstream audience, and it's good to see.
Yeah, absolutely. And the most amusing quote on the show has to be from Piers Morgan, though, and that was that at the moment there are two of the most charismatic heavyweights of all time, Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury.
Yeah. I'd rather watch paint dry than listen to an Anthony Joshua intro.
I completely agree. However, if he was naked, it's a different matter.
Well, you do love the black stuff, as you talked about earlier with David Haye. It's becoming a bit of a thing for you. Anyway, Tyson's interview was going exceptionally well up until the last nanoseconds of the interview. They were talking about ways of losing weight. Tyson said to Susanna Reid, "Change your coffee and you'll lose a bit." No, Tyson, no.
What?
It was a head in hands moment.
There's absolutely nothing wrong
Tyson.
with it. There's nothing wrong with it.
No, it came from a good place, but Tyson. And of course, all the media outlets picked up on that, and they've chosen to report this rather than the good things that came from his interview.
Yeah, but it's not fat shaming that. It's just literally like there's weight to lose, like with everyone ultimately, unless you're anorexic.
Yeah, but it was always going to be taken badly by the media, wasn't it? They love to shoot Tyson down.
I hate the media.
And that's coming from a man who was studying to get a job in the media. Anyway, here's a small quote of when Simon put his foot on it in the Inbetweeners.
It's so hard to revise at the moment because we've got the builders in.
Oh, right. Is that a euphemism?
Sorry?
You know, like having the painters in.
Sorry, I don't really get it.
Oh, no, don't worry. It wasn't that funny.
What did you mean?
Come on, Simon, what does it mean?
Oh, just, having the painters in means being on your period, right? So when you said you couldn't concentrate because you had the builders in, I thought that might be a euphemism for you being on your period.
Right. Okay, I see.
It wasn't that funny, really.
No, it's fine. I get it. See you tonight, then?
Cool. See you tonight.
You're actually going to that freak's house?
Right, so that was a lovely performance from Simon as he ruined some of his chances with Carly D'Amato. Adam, my question to you, have you ever put your foot in it with a female?
No.
Never? Never ever said something wrong?
Never.
Never. I'm going to tell you a small story of when I slipped up once. And it's sort of, I was reminded by this by the Tyson Fury quote at the weekend where he sort of accidentally fat-shamed somebody. I did a similar thing and really did not mean it. It was the summer of year 9 and year 10, right? And I was at the park with quite a lot of us. And a girl sat on top of me, right? I was led down and she sat on top of me, like, my belly to the ground.
This is filth.
It's not like that. Anyway, she wasn't big, but she wasn't small either. She was sort of
normal,
verging slightly over normal. She weren't massive, though. Anyway,
she's fat shaming.
No, this is This isn't the quote from me. Oh. Anyway, she sat on top of me, and I must have made sort of like a grunt noise. Anyway, so she sits on me, and she goes, "Sorry, I'm a heavy." And I honestly meant this as a compliment. I went, "No, I thought you'd be heavier." And you know that feeling where you've come out of a quote and you're trying to like drag the words back into your mouth? Yeah, I really messed it up. Anyway, I'm obviously facing downwards, so she's in perfect position to ground and pound me. So I sort of...
Sorry?
I'm taking slaps to the face here.
This is filth. She's
got absolutely bullish, so I'm like, no, I didn't mean it like that. But anyway, it was to no avail as I received several slaps to the face. And then she got her mate involved who started sort of throwing kicks.
What? Right, this is going also.
So I'm getting tag teamed by 2 females.
Oh no!
One of which I'd accidentally fat shamed.
You're well and truly dug yourself a hole there. There are all sorts of implications of you having a threesome.
I didn't have a threesome. I took a hiding off 2 females at once.
Oh no!
So think about what you say before you say it. Is the moral of that story. Anyway, Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder have been negotiating this week. What did you think of the $50 million offer given to Joshua by Deontay?
I don't think Joshua will go to the States, so he might as well have offered him $100 million. Yeah. I still don't think it'll happen.
Yeah. Joshua's saying there's a 95% chance that'll happen next. You disagree?
I do disagree. I don't think he'll go to the States. If it's in Britain, potentially, but no, he won't go to the States.
Yeah. I feel this $50 million offer is sort of ludicrous. I'm sort of agreeing with Eddie Hearn here where he's saying he can't just offer $50 million. You need to provide contracts and you need to have meetings. This is how business obviously gets done.
Is it dirty money or not? And that is the question.
Dirty cash, I wanted you. Dirty cash, I need you. Whoa-ho. Money's talking. Adrian Lewis. Anyway, in the Battle of the Baggies that we discussed last weekend, Tommy Langford was 1-12 to defend his British title against Jason Welburn. He was unsuccessful, and assuming a few baggies won a few quid on Jason that night.
Well, wait, imagine someone also lost a few quid on Langford. No, yeah, this is a larger shock than if Linares was to defeat Lomachenko. It's absolutely obscene. So well done, because Langford, you can now retire.
Yeah, he's only about 25, I think, Langford. Yeah, but where does he go from here?
Well, he's retired. He's not very good.
Yeah, no, we can't retire him.
Why?
Why the hell would you retire when you're making money off boxing and you're 25 years old?
Because you're losing and your prize taking a massive hit. So why don't you go down the punditry route or promoting like Matthew Macklin?
It's a bit early. It's just a loss.
It's a feat to a fucking idiot.
That's harsh.
I'm sorry, Tommy. It's time to go, pal.
Google how old Tommy Langford is. He's about 25.
It's time to go, Tommy.
No,
I've had enough.
I mean,
you've been around for about 10, 15 years now, pal.
Tommy Langford's hasn't been around.
He's been around years.
He's 28.
He's 28. Time to go, Tom.
No.
Had enough.
He just defended his British title.
Had enough, pal.
On a George Groves bill. He's still making money, and he's still a draw in the Midlands area with that West Bromwich.
Yeah, we'll get in with Matthew Macklin.
Matthew Macklin retired about 3 years ago.
Well, it's time for you to go as well, Tommy. Why don't you join his promoting thing?
His management team. I can't see Matthew just being really nice and offering Tommy a place at his management
Well, they're both
career.
from the Midlands. Time to go,
well,
Tom.
as Jay said last week, Tommy's from Devon.
Well, yeah.
Anyway, I won't agree with the decision for him to retire, but I think he needs to sort of reevaluate where he's going. Anyway, we all love a fight. We all love watching humans punch other humans. But I'm going to... Jay's going to tell you a little story about the time he got in a fight with a cow.
Although last time I went to the country, I had a bit of bother.
What, from locals?
Nah, a cow. It charged me, so I had to knock it out. One punch.
Nice.
I had to leg it, though, because this mate saw what was going on. And no word of a lie, they stood up on their hind legs, started throwing milk at me from their tits.
Moving on to the sport of darts. The Premier League was in Birmingham this week, and the night kicked off with Peter Wright defeating Simon Whitlock 7-4.
It did. And they both agree that Tommy Langford should retire. But anyway, and actually the crowd, actually. But
Simon Whitlock's a big Lucas Brown fan, if you didn't
know. Yes, Wright. A resurgent Wright. And he put a couple of his wrongs right in Birmingham, which is neither left nor right.
What the hell are you talking about?
I'm just trying to fit as many rights as possible. No, yeah, Wright beat Whitlock.
Peter Wright is always right and writes with his right hand. There you go.
What teacher with that?
Mrs. Wright, you fucking idiot.
That's a bite! Anyway, move on. Yeah. What?
I thought you were saying something. I thought you were going to carry on with what you were saying. Moving on, I thought.
Yeah, move on to the next game.
This is Jay's Australian accent when he tried to buy beer.
Oi, bruv.
Yes, bruv.
3 pints of lager and a pint of Guinness.
Any ID?
Yeah.
Brett Clement.
Yep.
You know this is an Australian driving licence,
Yep.
so you're Australian.
That's right, mate.
So when's your birthday?
15th of bloody May 1989.
Is he speaking in an Australian accent? Sounds like it.
Right. What do you want again?
3 jars of lager and a Guinness.
The other drinks for your mates?
You betcha, cobber.
Well, I'm not serving them unless they got ID as well.
So that was Jay's attempt to illegally buy beer. Were you ever successful in that when you were younger?
I can't say I drink. I'm teetotal.
Right, and for a teetotal man, you drink a hell of a lot of alcohol.
Yeah. No, it was hit and miss. You go to the bar, have a pat of beer. They say, have you got any ID? Oh, it's not on me, but yeah, I do, but it's just not on me. I can't save you then, pal. Fair enough.
You always used to do better than me, obviously, because I look a hint or two younger than you.
You do?
Yeah, you're probably in that sort of 29 margin now. 30, 31.
You're talking stone or years?
Well, maybe a bit above. But anyway, I remember one time we were at North End versus Bamber Bridge away. One of my very few away games in the pre-season. And you approached the bar and you got, I think you were 16, weren't you? And you got a big pint of beer. Anyway, the people started going, yeah, he's only 16. And the barman had a good look at you and went, he's bloody big for a 16-year-old. And we're moving on to the second game of the night. Daryl Gurney just about kept his playoff hopes alive. He drew to Michael Smith, 6 apiece.
Yeah, they both played well. And Gurney will be kicking himself for not getting over the line, really. However, Smith in the last leg with an absolutely incredible hold. It was brilliant. 140, 140, etc. It was just a classy way to hold throw. And a good point for Michael Smith.
Yeah. Rob Cross, the world champion, then took a hiding at the hands of the Dutch wizard, Michael van Gerwen, 7-2.
Yeah, quite surprised. I actually predicted Rob Cross for this one in the prediction league that me, James, and John have got going.
Yeah.
And I didn't get a point on the night, so yeah.
2-horse race now, that prediction league. Me and John battling it out for first place. £30 on the line.
Write me off at your peril.
Anyway, of course we know a lot about Dutch males with the likes of Michael van Gerwen and Raymond van Barneveld showing the darting world their skill. But what do we know about female Dutch people? Here's Jay to tell you all about them.
There are 3 things you need to know, Neil. They're filthy, they're hairy, and they don't mind if you wipe it on the curtains.
That's apparently what Dutch females are like, and I'm sure that Raymond van Barneveld's wife is absolutely nothing like that. I'm sure she packs him a lovely dinner before he goes to work and defeats Gary Anderson 7-3.
Yeah, the Flying Scotsman was shot down by the Dutch darting doyen. It was a terrific performance.
And that is the world of darts covered for this week. We're going to the last week of league fixtures before we get the finals.
Yes. Lovely.
Moving on to the sport of football. Chelsea defeated Liverpool 1-0. Did you catch the game?
I didn't. Shite.
Thank you very much. That's the end of Chelsea versus Liverpool. Moving on to the Champions League semi-finals. Real Madrid versus Bayern Munich. It was 2-2 on the night. Real Madrid went through 4-3 on aggregate.
Yes, Munich had all the chances in the world, but couldn't kill them off. Real Madrid, clinical. They're through in the final in Kiev.
Yeah. This other semi-final, Liverpool very nearly mucked up badly. They lost 4-2 to Roma on the night and only scraped through by 7-6 on aggregate, an obscene number.
Yeah, only Liverpool could manage to be 5-0 up in the tie and end up only winning 7-6.
Yeah, Liverpool very nearly ruined their potential night in Kiev, but they've got through. They'll play Real Madrid in the final. Who's your pick to win?
Real Madrid, purely because I think they will score more goals than Liverpool. I know that seems obvious, but Liverpool.
Thank you very much. Michael Owen.
What's the score? No, I think Real Madrid are slightly better defensively and slightly better in attack, with all due respect to Liverpool. It ought to be a lot of goals though, because
I'm expecting like a 4-3 Real Madrid victory.
well, yeah, because both of the ties in the semi-final had plenty of goals, and they're both open as arseholes. And for me, I think it's likely that Real Madrid will get the better of them. But who could deny Liverpool that 6th Champions League?
Yeah, it's been over 10 years since they last won the Champions League. 2005, I believe. Neil Mellor picked up a Champions League medal that night, so well done to him.
He did. Can you name the Liverpool sub-goalkeeper on the night?
Pepe Reina. Or was he in the starting 11?
No, Hersey Dudek started. And the sub-goalkeeper was Scott Carson.
Scott Carson? A career that never fulfilled the heights it potentially could have.
Well, no, the man who kicked the ball in the net against Croatia.
Oh, God, I remember that.
That infamous umbrella night at Wembley when Steve McLaren was covered in piss, and Scott Carson might as well been covered in piss as well, because he cost England's chances that night. Crouch was awesome on the night.
Crouch is always awesome. Always heads in goals very well. Anyway, so yeah, we now move on to the Europa League. Heartbreak for Arsenal, and more importantly Arsene Wenger. Atletico Madrid won 1-0 on the night to win 2-1 on aggregate. As an Arsenal fan, are you devastated?
I can't say my eyes were overly dry. I just felt so frustrated watching that game. Arsenal were absolutely all over Atletico Madrid, who I firmly believe are beatable. Would not be surprised whatsoever to see Marseille beat them in the final. They've got to the final, haven't they?
Yeah. Yeah, obviously it's a semi-final.
No, Marseille, but I'm pretty sure Marseille.
Oh yeah, Marseille in the final, yeah.
Bloody
hell.
Sorry.
Yeah. I thought you meant Atletico, I was thinking, obviously.
No, look, Atletico are beatable. Arsenal were all over them, just couldn't score. I can't believe they had one shot on target. They must have spent about 80 minutes in Atletico's half, but ultimately Atletico scored. That man Costa, he loves it against the Arsenal. And then Koscielny, Achilles injury out the World Cup. It was extremely emotional evening, actually. Yeah. Also, Wenger deserved that.
Yeah, I'm not even an Arsenal fan, and I felt a bit sorry for Arsene Wenger. I feel his legacy would have deserved some European success.
Absolutely, couldn't agree more. He's had plenty of opportunities to win European silverware, to be fair, and never quite cut it, but an outstanding manager all the same.
If you don't trust our opinion on Arsene Wenger, here's Will Mackenzie with a slightly more negative opinion on the French manager.
The fucking baguette-eating dickhead frog.
Thank you, Will. That punditry was a hint racist, but we'll take it. And anyway, a team full of baguette-eating dickhead frogs was Marseille, and they got...
That's disgusting.
They got a victory over Salzburg. They lost 2-1 on the night, but it was 3-2 on aggregate, and those Frenchmen make it to the final to take on Atletico Madrid.
Yeah, good team, tend to score a lot of goals. And they come through a tricky tie there, because Red Bull love a goal or two as well. So yeah, well
they
done
love
to
wings.
Marseille. Yeah, their elevation in the Europa League, the dizzy heights that they've reached.
Stop it!
Could not have been done without the wings that Red Bull gives them. So well done to them. But you're out, Marseille through.
Well, who wins that final?
Atletico, but wouldn't be surprised to see Marseille win. In fact, quite an intriguing story in France emerging at the moment. PSG are in the FA Cup.
Sorry?
France have an FA Cup, right?
It's called the FA Cup.
I'm pretty sure, yeah. And they're playing a third division side in the final.
Well, they said the FA Cup is what dreams are made of. So hopefully that third-tier club can get a win.
But I'm pretty sure they're amateur in France.
Coupe de France, it's called, not the FA Cup.
Well, it's currently 1-0 to PSG. So.
Oh, it started?
Oh, lovely.
It's going on live now.
Goal!
Who scored? Giovanni Lo Celso. A player who I know absolutely everything about. I know all about him.
Cool.
He once lived on a corn farm in Kansas.
And performed fellatio
on Mikel Arteta.
Yeah.
Anyway, a team that doesn't have wings and are falling flat on their face, Stoke City, after 10 years in the Premier League, have finally been relegated. Quite emotional, but they're gone.
Oh, it's absolutely fantastic for me. No, it's not fantastic for me. What the hell am I talking about?
Yeah, it's a nightmare place to go to.
Yeah, if North End got promoted, it'd be absolutely fantastic, but we've just missed out on that. But no, Stoke, outside the welcome in the Premier League. Love talking about Munich. They're an absolute disgrace of a football club. Good riddance. However, not welcome to the Championship either.
On the bright side, now they're in the Championship, at least en route to the stadium, you'll get to see the JCB place.
No, it's slightly past it.
Oh, that's quite upsetting.
It's as if if you go through Stoke somewhere, you see it, but no, if you're going to Stoke, you don't see the JCB.
Well, I suppose you could tie in a trip to Alton Towers on a Stoke away day.
You could do.
Or Inty's Pottery Centre.
Absolutely fantastic.
Or even a trip to the Amateur Dramatic Productions to watch Grease, which was the greatest production I've ever seen.
Yep, right there for me as well. That old bloke actually had a blowjob on stage.
Yeah, we saw a man in his mid-40s receive fellatio, centre stage left. Yeah. Quite bizarre, actually. I don't think that was in the original script for Grease.
No, but
that's an amateur production for you. So yeah, that was Grease in Stoke. A lovely place. Well, we once had a camping trip over 5 days. A really magnificent one, to say the least.
Absolutely fantastic time, yeah. But we don't want the Potteries in the Championship for long. I hope they have a horrible fall to League One.
Thank you very much to that.
No
I'm sure the Stoke fans listening.
The religious Stoke listeners.
Well, there's a few from Sri Lanka as well,
yeah.
and Portugal and Poland,
yeah.
and El Salvador.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a few people bizarrely listening to this show. Anyway, moving on. As Stoke go down, another team has to go up. The Championship playoffs. Unfortunately, North End didn't make it. How did you rate their performance over the season?
Not quite, but it's been a terrific season. Proud as punch of every single one of them. And yeah, we go again next season. A couple of editions will be right there. I bumped into a couple of the lads in Beluga.
Yeah, I saw that
Saturday
picture
night.
on Facebook.
On Facebook?
Yeah, Messenger.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah. Yep. Alan Brown really is always in Beluga.
Yeah, it's true that chance. I thought you were just taking the person.
No, he's always in Beluga.
So my tips like Morton Gammas Pediston and Rocky Santa Cruz are in Switch aren't true.
No.
Anyway, who do you see getting promoted out of the Championship playoff teams?
Well, Wolves are up, Cardiff are up, but my selection in the playoffs is Middlesbrough.
Middlesbrough. Always liked Middlesbrough from being a youngster. Used to really rate Stuart Downing's performances back in the day.
You're also a huge fan of Mendieta, aren't you? The man who always scored from 25 yards against United. Former Barcelona man.
I don't know too much about Mendieta, but thank you for that. Anyway, junior football is a very important part of this country, I'd say. It's almost the core of British football, wouldn't you?
Well, it is, absolutely.
Yeah. Here's a story about what Jay got up to on the West Ham Under-13s football tour.
Oh, I've never met a Dutch.
Always the filthiest.
And you know that, do you?
Yes, I fucked a Dutch girl.
Bollocks, never been Holland.
Yeah, I have. It was the West Ham Under-13s football tour.
Oh, right. And what did she do to you when you were 12 that was so filthy? Give you a blowjob in a windmill? Wank you off with clogs?
Nah, look, it was properly filthy. I shouldn't tell.
Try us.
All right. Well, when I fingered her, she shit down my arm.
Jay looks shameful as the others stare at him in disgust.
So that was a lovely story by Jay. Has a woman ever shit down your arm, Adam?
Too many times to express on a family podcast, actually.
There's a child's bike outside. Anyway, moving on. Nazir Fekir is rumoured to be signing for Liverpool for 60 million, and another man associated with the Liverpool Football Club, Steven Gerrard, is moving into the managerial position at Rangers. Is that a good appointment?
It's an extremely interesting appointment. I think Liverpool are eyeing up Steve Gerrard for that Liverpool job in the future, but it won't be anytime soon. I think Rangers could be an absolutely outstanding move. If he gets Rangers in contention for that title again, then yes, it's a fantastic move. If it's a massive failure, he can't go back to Merseyside and say, oh, look at my portfolio. I dragged Rangers from the absolute depth of despair to something brilliant. Yes, it's a massive risk because Rangers have no money and Celtic are light years away. But I admire Steven Gerrard for taking that job. He ought to get the backing from the board at Rangers and ought to attract players who are either washed up or young, hungry, looking for game time.
I imagine he'll get quite a few players off Liverpool on loan, some of the youngsters.
Yeah, I'd imagine so. He was involved in the youth, set up at Liverpool before taking the job. So yeah, he's not the sort of man who'd walk into a job without reassurances. So I'm sure
it's a tough style of play, isn't it, in Scotland? So I imagine it'll be a good experience for young players to get involved at that level.
Absolutely, that's the only way you develop. And playing under Steven Gerrard certainly won't hinder any of their development. That's for sure. So good luck, Steven
Gerrard. Anyway. We all have friends in the world. You're my friend, I'm your friend. Jay has a very special friend, and that friend is known as a football friend.
I knew him from when we was doing trials at West Ham. He's moved into the area. He's just some guy.
Some guy? Oh, he's just some guy. Oh, he's just some guy. That's all it is. Just a friend from when Jay had trials at West Ham that never happened. Don't forget the thumbs up. Oh, friend. Oh, new friend. Oh, friend. Please be my friend. Oh, friend. Oh, friend.
Fuck you lot. Where's the beer?
We're out. I'm going to the loo.
What, for a wank? You wanker.
Friend.
You coming around mine tonight? Play Pro Evo?
Depends. Will your friend, the footballer, be there? Ah, friend. Football friend. Oh, best friends forever and ever. Oh, friend.
Fuck off, all right? He's not my friend.
All right. You're touchy about your friends?
It's got new rims for it.
Yeah, it's well nice.
Oh, friend. Oh, car friend. Oh, car friend. Should we play football?
I've just got to pop home now, but you can have a drive later if you like.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, thanks, friend.
Cheers.
And car friend, football. Cheers, friends.
See you later then.
Yeah. He's not my fucking friend.
All right. Friend. Friend. Made up football friend.
Just give me a fucking rest, will ya?
Hello. Isn't that friend's car? Oh, new rims car friend.
I'll show you how much of a friend he is. Fucking friend.
Oh, friend.
Fucking football friend.
I never thought he'd get that wound up.
Yeah. Jay, what are you doing?
Oh, friend. I'm not your fucking friend, all right? Oh, friend.
So, are they friends or not?
New car, friend. Let's go for a drive sometimes, friend. See you, friend. See you later, friend. Oh, friend. Friend.
Yeah, very bizarre from Jay. It just sort of shows the bait levels that go on within teenagers, always winding each other up. Anyway, last issue on football, sort of sad issue. Sir Alex Ferguson underwent treatment over the weekend for a bleed on the brain, but we're led to believe that surgery went extremely well, and he's talking to family and friends. So we'd just like to pass on the best wishes of Sir Alex and hope he gets well soon, which seems to be the case at the moment.
Absolutely the greatest football manager of all time. He's not going to lose this particular battle. He didn't lose much on the field, and hopefully he doesn't lose much off the field. So all the best, Sir Alex.
Anyway, we're going to cover F1 for the very first time. Adam, you're a big man in motorsport terms, aren't you?
Oh, I absolutely adore motorsport.
NASCAR man.
Huge.
And Lewis Hamilton won the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Azerbaijan. How do you think Lewis is getting on at the moment?
Oh yeah, really well. I spoke to him the other night.
Yeah.
He's well.
Always been good pals with Lewis, aren't you?
Trivia. What's the capital of Azerbaijan?
I couldn't tell you, but I imagine Ruslan Shaggy has been on holiday there a few times.
Well, I'd imagine so. And it's called Baku.
Baku.
You learn something new every day, James.
Would you ever like to go to Baku? Azerbaijan's a bit of a tick, isn't it?
Yeah, why not? Absolutely.
Anyway, me and Lewis haven't got along in a very long time after, obviously, he upset Nicole Scherzinger. Not happy with that.
He's a complete cock, Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah, not the nicest of men, so I've heard.
Don't like him.
Anyway,
I don't like motorsport either.
Yeah, I've just got to be perfectly honest. I brought this up purely so I could talk about Simon's new car. Here's the quote.
Your dad's just bringing round your new car.
Oh, God, Mum, this is brilliant.
That is not fair.
You're not allowed to touch it.
Well, we're very proud of you. It's a Fiat or something, but he says it is second-hand.
Oh, God, Mum, that doesn't matter. This is so cool.
That is the gayest car I've ever seen.
Oh, no. Dad, really?
Really?
It might not look much. It's a great little runner, and you won't be able to get up enough speed in it to kill yourself.
I don't want it.
Come on. It's a special edition. A Hawaii. I bet your mates at school will think it's cool.
I can't go to school in it.
Well, if I was a girl, I'd think whoever drove this was pretty trendy.
Are you trying to wind me up? Why are you saying these things?
Well, I think you should just be a bit more grateful, to be honest.
Oh, Christ, it's got a tape deck.
See, that's good.
No, it's not. You can't even buy tapes anymore.
Oh, you're being melodramatic again. Now, why don't you go and show Will? I bet he'll be jealous.
Yeah, he'll be really jealous of how yellow it is.
And be careful. That's the most valuable present you'll ever get.
I fucking hope not.
I heard that.
The good news was that Simon had passed. The not so good news was bright yellow and parked in my driveway.
Well, I don't think it's too bad.
It's not great, though, is it?
No. But don't look at the external realities, think of the immense possibilities.
What?
Yes, it's a Cinquecento Hawaii, but it's also freedom. It's the possibility of driving our own destiny. We can be what we want now, push our lives literally in the direction we want them to. Oh, Christ, is that a tape deck?
Check out the Bendermobile.
It looks like a pedo's car.
He's just jealous because his family haven't discovered fire yet.
So that was our conclusion on F1. Really hope you enjoyed it. And of course, we're very knowledgeable in that field.
Yes.
The mixed martial arts, it's got UFC 224 in Brazil this weekend. We kick off with Amanda Nunes versus Raquel Pennington. It is the first time ever a world title has been on the line with two lesbians competing in the main event. Nunes has been talking a lot of trash talk this week. This is exactly what she said to Raquel Pennington at the press conference.
I'm gonna fuck your fucking fanny off, you twat!
Well, absolutely disgusting comments there by Amanda Nunes, but she might well be correct. I feel that she'll probably get the edge in this weekend's contest. Anyway, co-main event, a big one in the middleweight division. Jacare Souza takes on Kelvin Gastelum. Both coming off big wins, one to Derek Brunson and the other to Michael Bisping. The winner, more than likely to get a world title shot. Jacare, the veteran, excellent on the ground. A devil on the ground, to say the least. He's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu former world champion. Kelvin Gastelum, of course, more renowned for being an extremely good boxer. It's really a pick-em contest, and the winner will more than likely get a shot at Robert Whittaker. Then the next fight on the card, Vitor Belfort versus Lyoto Machida. Two legends, two former world champions, but unfortunately the match leaves a bit of a sour taste in the mouth, as both of them in the past have been done for taking illegal substances. Should fighters like that still be getting opportunities in the game?
No, absolutely not, but it's a different sport. UFC's 20 other, really, isn't it? There's a lot of drugs chasing there, so whatever.
Thank you very much for that. Anyway, the Ultimate Fighter carried on this week. Team DC are now 3-0 up on Stipe Miocic. His fighters, of course, taking 3 relatively comfortable wins. Do you feel it's a psychological advantage, Adam, if your team can get victories against Stipe's team? For DC, obviously.
To a certain extent, but ultimately it's two men getting in the ring, innit? I'd fancy David Haye to defeat Eddie Hearn, but I wouldn't necessarily fancy Joshua not to defeat Joe Joyce at the moment, if you know what I mean. Do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean. You put it together badly, but I know what you mean, yeah. Is this a concept you'd like to see in boxing? Two, in the lead-up to sort of a big fight, for example, you'd have David Haye and Tony Bellew coaching two teams in a knockout format, like prize fighter competition.
It's alright. It's not the sort of thing that I'd relish. I'll tell you what I would like, though, and that's promoters to have a scrap after, like Warren Hearn or, you know, Macklin Hay. I just think it'd be a fantastic thing.
I'd quite like to see Mick Hennessy involved.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. That'd be a crack, yeah.
Anyway, lastly, the return of Nate Diaz is being heavily rumoured to be coming upon us. Of course, he's not fought since that majority decision loss to Conor McGregor in August of a couple of years ago. Nate, of course, one of the biggest stars in the sport. He could be returning in LA at UFC 227. Rumours that he could be fighting Dustin Poirier or Eddie Alvarez. They're the sort of fights I'd like to see. But within the last 24 hours, apparently, Diaz versus St Pierre is in the early courses of negotiations. Diaz, of course, a huge name, an excellent fighter, but I feel St Pierre's a level or two above him would probably wrestle him home to probably a fairly simple decision. I can't see it being too hard a night's work for George St Pierre. But anyway, Nate Diaz, of course, renowned for exceptional trash talk with his confrontations with Conor McGregor. But here's somebody who's slightly better at trash talking. Here's the confrontation between Will Mackenzie and Neil's dad.
Neil! What the hell is going on?
Oh, this place smells like a brewery, not a nice one. Jay, there is always trouble when you're around, but Will, I'm especially surprised at you. I'm so sorry, Steve.
Oh, piss off!
What? Don't talk to me like that in my own house.
Oh, I'm so sorry. My manners. Piss off, please.
I had enough of your lip.
Oh, you'd like my lip, wouldn't you? Right round your bell end, if Mr. Chippy doesn't get there first. What's he going to knock up? A closet for you to hide in, you bumder?
Now, we've been talking about the Inbetweeners throughout the entire episode today. But it was another big day this week for franchises that we enjoy. May the 4th be with you.
Absolutely. Star Wars. Absolutely incredible. In fact, there's another one coming out later this month, isn't there? Like a Star Wars story.
Yeah, it's coming out in December. I don't overly rate the Star Wars stories.
Well, not that bad. I mean,
the Rogue One was terrible, but the Han Solo film, I think it's going to be this time around. I struggle to imagine somebody other than Harrison Ford playing Han Solo.
It'll be difficult to take that.
Yeah, it will be tough. Anyway, we've dedicated this entire episode to the Inbetweeners. Just a brief discussion on them before we bring this episode to a close. Who's your favourite character, Adam?
So my favourite character is actually Neil, I think.
Neil? Interesting. Yeah. I don't see that many people saying Neil.
Well, I honestly think he's got the most laughs out of me.
Interesting.
Just the way that he acts and his body language and like clearly just completely sort of...
Gormless.
Yeah, he believes anything Jay says. I think it's comedy, mate.
Yeah, not many people say Neil, so that was a nice little surprise. Will's probably my favourite character with his sort of upper class reactions to everything. Really makes me laugh. A very underrated part of the show for me is, of course, the facial expressions that all 4 lads pull. Sort of go unnoticed until you've watched the episode about 20 times over each.
Yeah.
And I also like the way it's it's so realistic. You can walk into any sort of teenagers' conversations and they're the sort of things you're going to hear.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've got a few of my favourite moments just to finish off the show. First of all, here's the time that the boys bunked off and Will tried to buy alcohol from the shop.
Good day.
Sorry?
Good day.
Ah. Hello.
The key is to let the shop owner know who's in control. It's like a Jedi mind trick. I am an adult. You will serve me.
Can I help at all?
Yes. I am a man who has recently bought a house in the local area, and I'm having a housewarming party to which I'll be inviting a lot of the local adults. Too. Hence the crisps.
Yeah.
And I'll also probably need some alcohol as well as the crisps, etc.
Right, what sort of thing are you looking for?
Some beef-eater gin.
Okay, so how about 2 bottles?
Excellent.
Do you want some wine?
Christ, no, we're not made of money. And I'll have some extra strong mints for those who are drink driving.
Right. It comes to £29.50. Anything else?
What's on special?
I'll give you a bottle of Drambuie for a tenner if you're paying her out of the shop in 5 seconds.
Done. My good man. I shall invite you to the party.
Another one. Well, what really gets me there is, I shall invite you to the party. That really makes me laugh there. Anyway, we've all sort of been at school and we have those teachers that come across a little bit dodgy. Here's the time Mr. Kennedy came into the room with the Inbetweeners.
Oh, swimming's tiring. Are your legs tired?
I think they're okay.
Yes. Quick massage before bedtime. Tired legs. Oh.
Come on, John.
Oh. Rub down. Shifter lactic acid?
Not now, John.
Oh.
Was that a dream, or did that just happen?
He rubbed my legs. Well, that's what you get for leading on pedos, you slut.
Last one to finish us off. When you get yourself in deep, you try and look for ways out of it. This is what Simon had to do, and Will, of course, for that matter, when they bunked off school and were then caught by their parents. They even accused Neil's dad of doing some very disturbing things.
Well, it's every Wednesday and we play a sort of, I suppose it's a best of 3 games and
right.
Changing facilities, not too bad. So,
Yeah.
All in all, it's a good thing, yeah.
Right. Sit down, you two.
Sometimes in life, you have to sit down and take your punishment like a man. Unfortunately, this was not one of those times.
Well, you've had quite a day off. You've lied to your mothers, bought alcohol illegally, abused Neil's dad, stole my suit, defaced the pavement outside Carly's. Am I missing anything?
We also hit a spastic with a frisbee.
I feel totally let down, William.
It wasn't our fault, Mum.
And what you said to Kevin here. I thought I brought you up better than that.
It isn't our fault.
Why is it not your fault, then?
It all happened because he touched us.
What?
Me? He touched us here, and here, and here. The bumhole.
You evil little shits.
I'll deal with this, Kevin. Now listen to me, you two. That is an extraordinary allegation, and you should think very carefully before you repeat it. Just because Kevin's gay doesn't mean he goes...
Wait, no, I'm not gay.
It's all right, Kevin. We're all friends. Doesn't matter.
No, but I'm not gay. I was married for nearly...
Oscar Wilde was married.
That is enough, William. Although he is right, Kevin, and obviously it's fine.
No, I'm not gay.
All right, don't have a hissy fit.
Just because Kevin is gay doesn't make him automatically a paedophile.
I'm not a paedophile.
So if you want to repeat those allegations, then we'll take them seriously. But if you want to tell us the truth that it never happened, we'll move on to the other things you're in trouble for.
OK. The truth is, we're alcoholics. You have to help us. All we can think about is where the next drink is going to come from. We're literally out of control. Today we even talked about heroin. There's a long road ahead of us, but with your support and your love, we think we can make it. So please, as our parents, help us.
And so we were so pathetic, even my mum, who has no sense of humour, was laughing at us.
Yeah, overall, we love the Inbetweeners. It's been an important part of our lives growing up. We feel we sort of had similar experiences to the lads in the programme. Yeah, one of the greatest comedies ever made. So relatable. We thoroughly enjoy it. Damon Beasley and Ian Morris, two of the greatest writers in comedy. To play us out this week, it's the Inbetweeners theme song. Goodbye.
Goodbye.